Hey everyone, welcome back, and let's write some more Leetcode today. So today let's solve the problem 1-bit and 2-bit characters. So a bit of an interesting problem, and I would say the most important thing about this problem is just making sure that you read it very, very carefully. So the idea here is that we're given a binary array of just ones and zeros, and we're given two possible special characters. That's what they say, but basically there's two possible types of characters. One is defined as just a 0-bit, and the other can be represented in two different ways, either with 1 0 or 1 1. So that's what makes this kind of interesting, because if you take the string just 1 0 or the array 1 0, pretty much the only way to break it up is to say that this must be the second character because it's a 1 0. But if you then add a 0, it gets more interesting, because then you can say, okay, well, this is the second character because it's a 1 0, but this is the first character because it's just a 0. Now, if there were two zeros, well, the only way to break it up is to say that this is the first character and this is also the first type of character. You could also do this 0 1, but this one isn't really possible. This is saying that this must be a 0, and then we just have a standalone 1, and that doesn't really fit in with anything that we have. So this is just to help you build a bit of the intuition. They say that the array that we're given is always going to end in a 0, so that's important. And they say we need to return true if the last character must be a 1-bit character. Not if it can be a 1-bit character, but it must be a 1-bit character. So that immediately should tell you that this is not a backtracking problem. We do not have to try the different ways, if that would even be possible with this character set, but it's saying it must be. So we can just run any type of simulation, and if we end with a 1-bit character, which is just a 0, then we return true. Otherwise, we return false. So knowing that, the problem becomes a lot easier, because let's just go through a couple of the examples here. The first one they gave us, we kind of already went through this. So let's say we're iterating over this from left to right. We have a pointer. We look and we see a 1. So at that point, you might think, well, okay, we have to read the second character as well. And it's kind of true. You have to make sure that there is a second character. So in that sense, maybe it's best to make sure that our pointer has not reached the last character. Like, this is the last position it's allowed to reach. But we actually don't really need to look at the second character, because notice how if we have a 1 0, then that's the second type of character. If we have a 1 1, that's also the second type of character. So basically, if it starts with a 1, then we can say that these two digits form the second type of character, and then we can advance our pointer by 2 positions. And now that we landed on the last position, we're guaranteed that it's a 0. We don't even have to check that. And the fact that we landed on the last character basically tells us that the solution is true, because it's guaranteed to be a 0, and we were able to break up everything else before that so that they fit into characters nicely that are actually defined. So in this case, we would return true. There's a few examples where we would return false. This one is one such case. So imagine we have 3 1s. Well, no matter how we break it up, I mean, the first one we have to advance it by 2, because the first one is a 1. And then we're here, once again, it's a 1, so we have to advance the pointer by 2. And then we end up out of bounds. So there was no possible way to make this character actually be the first one. So that's pretty much the whole idea behind the solution. It's a linear time constant space solution. Let's code it up. So I'm going to have my pointer, I'm going to set it to 0, and then I'm going to iterate while my pointer is not only in bounds, that would be less than the length, but I'm going to make sure it's less than the length minus 1. Because once we reach the last character, we just want to immediately stop. Now, it's possible the way I'm going to define the actual inside of this loop that we might actually end up going out of bounds. I'll show you what I mean. So here, we're going to check if bits of I is equal to 0, because if it's equal to 0, we know it's definitely not the second character. The second character has to start with a 1, either 1 1 or 1 0. So if it's a 0, well, then we can only increment our pointer by 1. Otherwise, we know it's a 1, in which case we have to increment our pointer by 2. And then at the end, we just want to return true if our pointer is within bounds. And if it's in bounds, it must be at the last character. So you could either do this, less than the length, or you could just check if it's exactly equal to length minus 1. So it has to be at that position if it's in bounds, because that's how we set up our loop. There's no way it would have stopped anywhere before the last character. So this is the entire code. I'll run it. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm used to having this variable be s, so I need to go a little bit slower next time, but you probably caught that mistake. So we're taking the length of bits, and now you can see it works. It's pretty efficient. There's one, I guess, I wouldn't even call it an improvement, but there's one thing that you can do here to shorten the code, I guess. If you notice that if this is 0, we're incrementing this by 1, and if it's a 1, we're incrementing this by 2. So basically, we're always incrementing by 1, but then based on this value, we might add an extra 1. So you can actually just take bits of I and do that like this. And like I said, I would not call this an improvement because I don't think it makes anything more readable. I guess it does shorten your code, but in a real interview, I wouldn't really prefer this method. But you can see it does work and it's also efficient. If you found this helpful, check out Leetcode.io. I plan on redoing the course from scratch over the next few weeks. So if you already have Leetcode Pro, you can definitely look forward to that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.